We are all liable to lose our memories a little bit as we get older. But Keir Starmer seems to have suffered full-on amnesia in the space of 18 months. Not only has he forgotten that he once was a socialist, he can't even remember what the word means. This was Starmer in March 2020, still campaigning in the Labour Party leadership election. Back then, he said, "I still see myself as a socialist. Whether I still agree with everything I did or said in my 20s is another matter. You gain experiences as you go along, but I would still call myself a socialist." Now, they're saying that he's still a socialist is because Starmer does have a past on the far left. He was a former member of the editorial collective of the magazine Socialist Alternatives. So he would have penned lots of articles about socialism and what it all means. But now it turns out he doesn't remember what it is. The newspaper, in an exclusive interview, reported the following. So, as he seeks to move Labour to the centre ground, Sir Keir refuses to say that he's a socialist. This is what he says. "What does that mean?" he asks, before adding, "The Labour Party is a party that believes that we get the best from each other when we come together collectively and ensure that, we give people both opportunity and support as needed." So he's asked if he's a socialist. He says, "What does that mean?" 18 months ago, you were one, Keir. What happened in the meantime? You suddenly thought, oh, actually, this concept's so complex. I clearly couldn't identify myself with such a deep concept as socialist. I'll just stand back and say I believe in opportunity. Ash, what do you make of this?
You know what? The way men can lie, the way they can look you in the eye and say, what does socialism mean? I've never met that woman in my life before. No, that's not my kid. The way
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I did not have socialist relations with that ideology. Just looking at you dead in the face. I don't think that the immediate lie has great political salience outside of the left and left Twitter and people who say, look, this is another example of him having said one thing to his party membership to get the top job and then another thing to the public, a complete abandonment of his pledges, his promises, and his principles. The things that he says distinguish him from Boris Johnson. I don't think that necessarily that is something which is going to break out because fundamentally, nobody in elite media sees a problem with breaking a promise to a party membership because they see the party membership as crazed leftist anti-Semites anyway. They've been so successfully denigrated. However, that doesn't mean that this can't come back to bite Keir Starmer. Generally, I think that it is more harmful than good for a Labour politician to be unprincipled and, wholly malleable when it comes to, their own personal morality. I think that ultimately it comes to bite them in the arse in a way that things don't tend to for the Conservative Party. But another is you can imagine this coming up, say during a general election, during a leaders debate where you've got, Emma Barnett saying, well, are you a socialist? Would you nationalise sausages or whatever it is? Keir Starmer going, no, what does that mean? Or I believe in Labour coming together and businesses and families and pets all striving their hardest or whatever it is. You can see him saying that. And then you have a litany of but this is when you called yourself a socialist. That was 2 years ago. Or this is when you called yourself a socialist. It's in print here and so on and so forth. It's something which makes him look, I think, just really foolish and untrustworthy. So while I don't think that there are immediate electoral downsides right now, the more Keir Starmer turns his back on things that he said in print, on camera, in 4K, the more he sets up confrontations which make him look, quite frankly, like either a liar or an idiot.